Guys, how's it going? Well, I've had a couple of requests. I've talked about this before, this sinkhole that I've got on my property. And I'm going to go on up the hill here, up in the woods, because this sinkhole is actually pretty cool. It's a sinkhole that's probably 15, 18 feet across and probably 20, 25 feet the other direction. And I figured it'd be kind of cool to make a short video and show this thing to you guys. And I don't know if I'll be able to climb down in the sinkhole itself and maybe shove my phone up in there a little ways and let you guys see some of it. But anyway, we're gonna try it. So let's go have a look. All right, we're gonna head on up the hill here. And on up in the woods. It's not very far from the house. Hey, look at that. Nothing stole my salt block. I had one out here a while back and something carried it off. And I have no idea what would carry off a 50-pound salt block. Anyway, you can see one of my creek runoffs right there, right through there. When it rains real hard, all the water on the mountain collects up and runs down through there. There's quite a few of them on my property, actually. We'll have a look at a couple of them. Ooh, it's slick. This whole hillside back here gets slick when it's wet. You can see my tire tracks up through here with the Mako and running the Yerp dog up this way with RC Tony and Brad. There's another gully there. That first one I showed you is on the far side over there. It gets really deep. Yeah, let's go over here and I'll show it to you. Anyway, there's one. I'll walk over here and you can see that one is pretty deep and it runs on up to the top of the mountain there. And it runs on down through right down there beside my driveway. Yay. Alright, go ahead and cut back through the woods here. But eventually, I want to put a bridge across this one. And you can cross it up there, but I want to put a bridge across this and get rid of some of these saplings and make us a little go-kart course back here. But there's another, that's that one I want to put the bridge across there. One of them. And then I've got all this property back here. It's not the smoothest place, but it'd make a nice little off-road course. I'm getting close to the sinkhole here. And I'll tell you a little bit about it when we get down here. Got to dodge through all these little trees. Now this little creek runoff right here, it comes from up that way and cuts around the sinkhole and runs down through there. But there's no water that leaves the sinkhole. And this is my sinkhole right here. It's got that big tree laying that's fallen in there, and it took that other tree there out. Now let's have a look at the cave. Ooh, ooh, it's washed out more. Okay, if you look here, there's a creek there, and you can tell it gets to be a good running creek, and that runs down into the sinkhole. We've got another one there that runs down and makes a little waterfall there, right there, and it comes down into the creek, or the sinkhole. And on that right side of that runoff, there's a third runoff just to the right of it, and it comes over, and that runs down here. And yeah, I think we can get down here a little ways. I'm being extra careful here. We don't need a hillbilly sunk down in there. But right there's a little hole, and that's new. That's probably from this runoff here coming down, turning, and it created a hole there. And we got some leaves and debris in there, but that is the cave that I've talked about. Let's see if we can extend this out a little bit. Alright. You can see it goes back in there quite a ways. I was thinking I might be able to stand on that side there, but it's really soft, and get a video down inside there. But that is really soft right there, so I think we're going to try a different angle, probably from the bank there. And with that debris in there, it's got to be dug out. So let's climb back up this rock ledge. I really don't want to fall down in this thing. But yeah, that debris is falling down in that hole. So, but it's just sticks and leaves. So, you know, if I had assistance, we could dig out a ledge on this backside bank right here to stand there and then clear that debris out. But that is a huge hole down in there. Really, really huge. Oops, sorry. Well, you see that rock ledge there that runs across. So it's got a pretty good rock shelf, and it looks like the cave runs underneath the mountain, underneath that rock shelf there. And I can attest to you, there's a lot of rock up in this area. I just wish that this side here, see this, the hole itself is right there, but this backside bank here washed out in the last probably 2 weeks from all the rain I've had. And if that hadn't washed out, then I would be able to get on that and then put my camera up in that hole, but it's just not safe for somebody to do that by themselves. But this hole from there across to there is 5 feet, and then from the bank to the lip is probably 3.5 foot. But it's got all that debris in there, and let's check it out somewhat. I want to see if I can feel a cool breeze coming up out of here. And yeah, I can actually feel a little bit of cold air coming up out of there. So that tells me that there's something large down in there. I'm not no cave expert, trust me. But my guesstimate, or guess, would be, since I could feel cold air coming up out of that hole, then there's a cavern, a large opening or cavern down in there. Oh, look at this. Here's another one there. I don't know what that small hole there does, but we'll walk around. Maybe we can stuff my camera down in there and hopefully we don't lose it, because that would really suck. Ah! Darn selfie sticks. I don't see a whole lot going on with that. Oh, well. Make sure everything is tight. Because if I lose this, you guys will never see this video. Move this stick. And, go down there a little ways. It keeps wanting to flop over. It looks like that goes down in there a long ways. And for it to create a water channel there, again, that'd be another indicator to me that there is a large opening down in there somewhere. But I've lived here a few years now, and I have never seen that thing fill up with water. I've never seen it overflow, and I've come up here with some torrential rain with a lot of water flowing in there, and I've never seen that hole start to fill up. That sinkhole there, I've never seen it fill up. I've never seen standing water in it. So that water's going somewhere in there. And I almost think that cave kind of extends down to my koi pond, because I've had fish disappear. And when I'm talking disappear, I've cleaned out the koi pond, took all the fish out, pressure washed that koi pond, so there was no koi fish at all in there. And filled it back up, put the fish back up, and a couple months later I had a new fish. That, well, not a new fish, a fish that I thought a blue heron had got a hold of. So I think the sinkhole there runs possibly uphill or up under that rock ledge and then down towards the koi pond here. Sorry, it's cold, my sinuses are acting up. But I'm pretty sure it goes from there down here and connects with a tiny channel to the koi pond, because I've had that fish, or I've had fish disappear, clean out the pond, you don't see them, and a year later they show back up. And I'll even show you the fish in question. And here's another thing that's got me thinking about this, because this flat area I'm standing on now, where my target range is one giant slab of rock. And this rock, see, the sinkhole is about 4 feet deep, and this rock ledge, or this giant stone, runs back up under the ground up that way towards that sinkhole. And the opening of that sinkhole, if you go down in there 4 feet, then you get to the opening of the sinkhole. I don't know, you go 2 or 3 feet deeper and you'll hit the level of this rock stone here, this big slab of rock that I'm standing on now. And it shoots back up that way, so I think that we have a big stone cap, and the water has a run that runs through underneath the stone and goes somewhere, but it doesn't go down to the creek in my front yard. There's no outlet. There's absolutely no outlet that I have found for that hole. Then we get over here to my koi pond, and you see all the fish in there. You see that koi right up by the waterfall. the calico koi there. It's white, gold, and black. That fish right there was actually a sweet little pet that I had. He would come up, I could scratch his head, I could pet him, I could hand feed that fish. So I know it's the same fish because I could still do that when I come out here with food and it's warmer. But he disappeared for a year, or she did actually. That's a female. But yeah, she disappeared for a whole year. And I drained this pond, cleaned it out, got all the leaves out, took all the fish out of this thing, pressure washed it, and my little fish there was gone. Well, when it comes time to clean the pond out next time, it's back. So I think from up there down this way, there is some kind of a connection between that and this koi pond somewhere behind these rocks. There's probably a small hole or something that connects the two, and like a little pond or creek or something there, because that fish disappeared and it didn't flood for a whole year, and then it flooded really good and the fish was back. It was really strange. And I know you guys have seen the creek in my front yard. Sorry, this video is a lot longer than what I anticipated, but I'm just going to roll with it. If you guys are interested in seeing this much of it, that's fine. Now my garage, some of you know that I had problems with flooding, so I had to put gravel up here to bring it up higher than my garage floor. But they dug out the garage and put the basement in and the floor, built the house, and then they decided to do the driveway. And right here, this is all one giant stone slab. I've taken a backhoe out here, and all you can do is scrape it. It's just solid stone. So I think that the creek comes down, or the cave comes down, and it runs underneath this slab, and it goes deep enough to where it doesn't connect anywhere to this creek. And this is a wet weather creek that I've got in my front yard, but it doesn't connect to that creek that runs up through there anywhere. I've hiked this creek from the road down there all the way up to the road way up there, a couple of miles both directions, and there's no outlets for the water that runs into that sinkhole and into that cave. But if you guys are interested, let me know and we'll set up a time and y'all can come on out and check out that sinkhole cave. But I tell you, you better do it in the summertime when it's dry, because I don't want to have anybody fall or have that thing cave in. There we go. But I don't want it to cave in on anybody. So I'd like the ground to be a little drier, a little solid. And anyway, I want to make sure that I'm home when it is explored. That way, I mean, I'll even hang out at the top up in the opening as, you know, kind of safety. And that way I could call 911 if I have to, or whatever starts coming in. Because, I mean, it's a sinkhole, you know. It's a cave that gets a lot of water run through it when it rains. And if you get down in there and it's raining further down the road and that water comes through, you're going to be in trouble. I mean, that would be a serious problem, because I mean, it'd wash you down into the cave. You know, I mean, it's like going out west and you get through the dry washes, and if it's raining 20 miles away and you don't know about it and you're down that dry wash, that flash flood will get a hold of you. And I mean, they've claimed a lot of lives. So if anybody wants to go down in there, that's fine, but bring plenty of rope, because I want to tie your butt off at the top and even belay you if I need to. That way, if anything collapses underneath you, then you're not going to fall 9 million feet to your death, or fall to the core of the earth and then try to fight dinosaurs and stuff to find a volcano to get out, you know. Anyway, guys, there you go. There's my sinkhole. And you know, like I said, if you guys are interested, then let me know and we can set up a time for you to come out and check it out. We'll see you later.